right, ladies and gentlemen of the 118 scale, 3.75 inch, 4-inch modern action figure community, I'm back again with another video. And in this video, we're going to be discussing none other than Mr. Jeffrey R. Therian, also known in the G.I. Joe world as Repeater. Now, Repeater was originally released in 1988 as an action figure, and he was somewhat popular due to the figures coming out at that time. You were seeing more colorful figures, more fantasized figures, whereas the character Repeater looked like a true soldier, and that was something that the G.I. Joe fans, children as well as adults, appreciated, because the line had begun to deviate from real military attire. So moving right along, in this video I want to do it a little differently than I have done it in the past. Usually I try to break down a little bit of the history of the character, and just after doing the Alpine video, I found that to be very difficult. That Alpine video was very difficult for me to complete. I don't know what it was about the story and the way the names, and it was what it was. So with this video, I'm going to show you guys both of the file cards, which I'll put right here. And you can pause and read those, and it should give you the entire story. So what I did here was, I wasn't really digging getting the actual G.I. Joe figure subscription release of the Repeater figure. I wanted something more modern, more up to date. So I went and created my own, and that is what you see before you here. So let's have a look at them. So I'll do a quick 360, and then I'll get all his gear off, and then we can look at him without all of his gear on. Pretty much I use all Marauder parts. And I'm outside today. Just to let you know, I have rebuilt the studio, and videos at the loading dock will resume here shortly. Awesome. Alright, so what I did here was I took a backpack from the G.I. Joe line, and I drilled a hole in it using my pin vise and added this to the back of it. Hopefully you guys can see that. He's got a spare AK-47 there, or whatever assault rifle you want to put there. That one just fit nice and perfectly in there, so I decided to leave it like that. Awesome. Somebody is honking their horn back there like crazy. This is why I don't like doing videos outside. I love the natural lighting, but aside from car horns and airplanes going overhead, it's a mess when it comes to editing the video. But anyway, moving right along, I decided to give him a boonie hat, even though we've come to know the hat that he wears. In all of the other figures that you've seen, he has a certain hat. I wanted to give him a boonie hat for some reason. I believe I couldn't find, I'm not going to lie, I didn't look hard enough, but I couldn't find anything that said he was a Ranger. But and I'll show you here, it says that, well, when you look at his card art, he's wearing a hat with Ranger on it. And I know military is very strict, and they have a lot of pride on what they wear. So they're not going to wear an insignia if they didn't earn it, so to speak. So I guess he is a Ranger. So far I gave him this M240 because he's known as like a heavy gunner. So let's have a look at that. We've seen these before. I dolled it up, kitted it up a little. Awesome. We can put that to the side, and let's look at what we did here. And the flies are annoying. I hate flies. They're disgusting. Alright. So that's what he looks like without the gun. So this is what I did with him. Drop down leg holster. You know what I do? I normally will cut this off the side and use it as a thigh pouch. Gave him 2 grenades. Added a green pouch here. And I also added a knife here. This vest is the G.I. Joe Hawk of the Pursuit of Cobra line. So I had a couple of those laying around, and I decided to trick it out a little. Let's remove his helmet. We'll look at that again. Gave him an American flag logo right here. And I added this here as a rangefinder, or just like a, I forgot what they call them. Do they call them MARSEC units? I forgot what they call these things. But anyway, they have them on their chest and they flip it down and they can get up-to-date information on whatever's going on. So I use this as a tracker, and with the way this looks here, it looks like you can flip it. So of course he's able to flip it to where it's pointing to the back, but I wanted to have it facing like this so you could see what it is. But just in our imagination, he could flip that over and it would, just show the back of it. Next, I went with a radio that I purchased off of Marauders Taskforce Reps website, and I did a little painting to it, gave it a little black and green the screen right here. Pretty simple, nothing crazy. I'm glad that came off. That was actually some super glue that hazed over from me gluing this night vision on. Anyway, green gloves, black boots, green knee protection. Gave him a first aid pouch right there. If he wants to wear his backpack, this is how it would look on him. I think it's a little cumbersome, a little big on him. I would definitely need a figure stand if I'm going to put that on him. So now, here's a look at him with his boonie hat on. So, I guess with a little bit of imagination, a couple Marauders parts laying around, some G.I. Joe stuff laying around, you could create your own characters. I actually like him more than I would if I had the actual figure subscription service version of Repeater. I think he's more of an operator now. He's more modern. He does, even with him geared up, as you saw in the beginning, with holding his rifle and his backpack and wearing his night vision helmet and everything, he looks more like the type of soldier you would see today. I like how I guess the flak vest looks on him. I'm surprised it fit. Usually G.I. Joe stuff is way too small for Marauders, but it fit perfectly. I didn't even have to do any modifications to make it fit. This was just glued on. It could probably pop off at any time. Drill hole, put 2 grenades there. Everything's glued in. This is all glued in. Yeah, pretty much. And that's pretty much it. The helmet, we've seen this helmet before. I use them all the time. I like them. Either way, this is pretty much what you're getting here. What would you do to create a Repeater figure? Would you do the same thing? Would you try to go more for a camo body or wearing full BDUs? What would you do? What would you do differently? Do you like what I've done here? Either way, let's discuss it in the comments. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them down below. I'll get to it at my earliest convenience. All right? I appreciate you all. See you on the next one. Peace.